Hi everybody, welcome back. We have a special surprise today. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you already know what it is. For those of you who don't, you're about to see it. We finally got the Vepr back. Here it is. Just look at it. Alright, it's not finished. Now, it's not finished for a reason, and I was going to include that in the intro to this video, but I already got it figured out. So, we have Christmas presents and things going on, but just look at it. It's so beautiful. Alright, so we're going to go over, for those of you who haven't seen any of the earlier videos, we're going to go over everything that we did. Rhineland arms, Vepr SVD style stocks. We have real SVD Dragunov handguards. Those came from Russia. We have a Russian adjustable Vepr gas block, the original front sight, and a tabbook flash hider. The barrel is a McGowan Precision stainless 6.5 barrel that was chambered, and well, they contoured it for me relative to the dimensions that I asked for, and then my gunsmith finished the contour to match this perfectly. I don't know if you can tell, but the barrel is actually the same diameter as the front sight base, so it's all one consistent diameter there. And we did that just to keep the barrel as heavy as we could, because you know, most AKs the front sight just pushes over the barrel, and then the barrel is way smaller for no actual reason. So he threaded it 14 by 1 left hand for the flash hider, and he actually trued the face of the front sight base, so this actually is a suppressor ready platform. Now let's go over some more of the things. This is, you can see what the barrel looks like. Veprs are dimpled, so when I drilled those out to take the old one apart, he blind pinned it, or sorry, not blind pinned, he drilled and pinned the rear sight base rather than trying to weld or anything with that. You can see it's a really heavy profile barrel. You know what, let's get our cheap AutoZone calipers out here and just measure the barrel. How's that sound? Sorry, let me get this taken care of. Trying to work, should have brought the tripod. That's okay. Alright. We have cheap AutoZone calipers. You can see they're zeroed out. Let's get a reading here. Back at the rear sight base. I don't think that's right. Yeah, we came a little bit loose on the way out. Yep, 878. Up here before the gas block, we have 824 thousandths. After the gas block, this would be the actual gas block diameter here, because he stepped down just a little bit because it did still have to be pressed on even though it's screw fit. 788 thousandths. And then at the muzzle, let's see what we got here. 785 thousandths. So we only dropped down 3 thousandths there. So, as you can tell, it is a nice, heavy profile barrel. It is very long. It is a 27-inch barrel, but I think it looks pretty good. It's not super long after the gas block. It's actually shorter after the gas block than it is before the gas block, so I don't have a real problem with it. I think it looks pretty good. This was our PSL gas tube that we drilled the spot welds off of the handguard retainers for the wood, and we drove them off with a hammer, and so we're using that as our PSL length gas system. These of course will need to be sandblasted first. Factory Vepr mag. That's just a 5-rounder. Came with a 10 as well. Alright, I'm going to sit you down for just a second and we'll tear into the guts of this thing. Alright, so you can see here the chamber This is chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. We had a 308 and it's the same diameter of the bolt face, so we wanted a 6.5 Creedmoor. You can see he stamped it on the barrel just with standard like stamping tools. It was intended to go here and be engraved, but he was having a problem with his engraver, so that wasn't able to happen. So it still does say 308 Winchester here on the side underneath the Vepr. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. Upside down, but you can see it. So we did get it chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. You can see our adjustable gas block, that plunger in there, and the gas hole is so over covered that it's not even funny. Like, you can barely even tell there's a hole there at all. But it does function perfectly, and right now it just limps the cases out because that's what we wanted in case I decide to suppress it or something like that. And I can always adjust it. There's just simply 4 set screws and then give a little twist of this and then it's adjusted. So it's nice and easy to take care of, nice and easy to maintain. You can pull this thing the whole way out to clean it instead of getting the gas tube off and everything. You can just run a brush down it, good to go. Alright, so the next problem we have is with our SVD handguards. The barrel is huge, monstrous barrel. So this is what we had in the earlier videos for handguard retainers. Alright, these were originally designed for the PSL, which if you don't know what a PSL is, go look it up because it's pretty important. That's kind of what we're doing here. Alright, so this was originally, the centers used to touch, and everything, my leg is not a good platform for this. Anyway, the centers used to touch, and there's a screw that runs through the middle. You can see the holes there, hole in the side, screw hole through the middle. So, this was supposed to be for a gas tube. This was supposed to be for a barrel. A PSL barrel is 2/100ths of an inch thinner than a Vepr barrel. And this one is even heavier than a standard Vepr barrel. So there was no way. You saw the measurement there. The barrel at the gas block was what, 8, what did I just say it was? It's like 824 or 822, I don't know. It's huge. And the PSL barrel is 0.610. No way that would have fit. So what we had to do is we actually turned this upside down, and now it goes on like this. That's why we have these strange sort of square looking cuts on it that I used with a file, because we're trying to mimic the shape of the actual gas tube in the flutes right here. All the flutes that we're trying to do is mimic that shape so we can clamp down good. But it will still clamp, the screw still lines up and threads in and works fine. But this is just what we're dealing with. Let me put it on the rifle here and show it to you. So we can see here a little what I'm working with. This notch was cut out because this side is where the head of the screw goes. So when that goes on here, we need a notch out of it to be able to get through to the other side. So that's what we did that for. You can see here just how large our barrel is. We actually had to trim the inside of that too to get the barrel to fit. So the barrel is actually larger than than the gas tube. But you can see what we still have to work with. We still got to get a little deeper and get those cuts around that gas tube, and we'll probably have to notch the gas tube in order to get the screw to go through. But you can see what we're dealing with. To get it to fit up here, we had to trim inside the handguards there, and I'm going to have to trim some more to get it to fit okay too, because I don't want these to be straining around here. Like, I mean, a little bit is okay, a little bit of tightness just while you're screwing it down, but I don't want it to be that hard. So we still have some work to go, but the bottom fits just fine. You can see the bottom comes right in, no problem. And that one's good. So what else have we not talked about? It's a little bit heavy. I bet you this rifle weighs probably 11 pounds. That barrel's pretty heavy. Maybe not 11. It might be closer to 9 or 10, but the barrel itself is like 4.5 pounds. So we have not talked about yet. We talked about it earlier, but the PSL gas piston, this is from CNC Warrior. The carrier was dimpled to begin with. I talked about that in an earlier video. So it had to be drilled out, and then we had to drill a hole all the way through the gas piston and rivet it. And he did a really good job of blending it. You can't actually tell where the rivet is. So if I ever need it out, we have a problem. A 308 bolt. For those of you who don't know, 6.5 Creedmoor was derived. The parent case was 30 Thompson center. So it's not actually a 308 derivative case, but it has the same case head diameter as a 308. So a 308 Vepr bolt will work with a 6.5 Creedmoor case. It actually works perfectly. The guy said it runs perfect. So 308 Veprs come with a stronger recoil spring. This one's actually, well, it's kind of tough to do what I'm doing right now, but they're stronger than standard AKM springs. So it handles the recoil really well. I haven't actually shot it yet. This is all basically hearsay from what the gunsmith told me. So I might just go ahead and go shoot it before I put this video up. I might not. I haven't decided. But you can see our rear retainer. These I got off of eBay, but they're sold on Gunbroker as well last I checked. Same, these come with a set of them too. And this is the problem I'm having also, is I'm gonna have to trim that down because that's obtrusive and weird on the upper side of the rifle. I don't know why, like, it was meant for the bottom because I flipped them, but why is it there at all? It's unnecessary. It doesn't make it look any better. Get it out of there. But I wanted to bring you guys in. Those of you who are actually following any of this and give you an update, because this has been a long process. We've been getting this project going for, what's it been? Well, I've been on YouTube for 4 months, and I've been working with this, getting it going for at least 6, if not more. Which for custom work that's not slow. Because custom barrels and everything are a big deal. Luckily, my gunsmith that I found to do this, he wasn't busy at the time, or else this wouldn't even be done yet until probably January. But I wanted to give you all a quick update on the Vepr, and it's done. It's ready to go. It's fireable. He test fired it. The handguards aren't done, but that's not essential to the rifle. I could take it right to the range right now and fire it. Which, well, I can't because it's Tuesday and the range isn't open. But anyway, I'm going to give you some rolling shots of it so you can take a closer look at it than what we just did, or at least get better looks at it so there's no me moving around or anything. But really quick thing, I actually got in contact with Tim from the Military Arms channel, and I've been trying to do that for some time now. But basically, the plan is, I'm going to get the handguards, and I need to wet sand the stocks to get all the brush strokes out of them. But I'm going to get all of this finished, everything I need to make it a complete rifle, and then we're going to send it to Copper Custom to be Cerakoted in a gloss black, and then I'm basically giving the rifle to Tim, not to keep, but I'm going to give it to him because I have like 10 subscribers and this thing is amazing and I want it to be seen by the world. So I contacted him about possibly having him take it out and go shoot it and do a video on it and show it to the world. And I'm not looking for a plug, I'm not looking for any kind of fame or to mooch off of Tim's fan base. I just want the rifle to be known. I want to see the results after he makes a video and people comment on that video. I don't expect a plug, don't really want or need a plug. I just want to see what the world thinks of this rifle. So, thank you for watching. I'm going to skip to some rolling shots now. Alright, so one more thing really quick. I was getting ready to actually get to work on this video and get to uploading it. And then I was going back to the footage and realized I never actually did an update after I finished it. So you can see here where we left off was me talking about filing this down so that we didn't have that odd little hump sort of obtrusion. So you can use me as a background again. You can see it's pretty much all the same all the way around, except for where the sling hooks. It's a little bit wider right here, and you can see that's not quite perfect yet, but we're still working on that. But you can see we took a good bit of material off of there in order to match the bottom. Let's see if we can get you a shot of the bottom as well. So you can see there it's pretty much the same all the way around. Let me go ahead and take this off and show you what's on the inside. By the way, the sling is technically on what would be the wrong side of the rifle, but we talked about that earlier and why I had to flip it around in order to get it to fit, and you'll see why here in a second that this was the only way to do it. Well, I should say this was the only way to do it and keep SVD handguards. If you have a PSL, none of this is any problem. Ignore it. It should fit right on, no problem, and you should be good to go. So that side fits a little bit tighter, but that's okay. So, as you can see, hopefully, we have a slight gap. That's pretty much our gap all the time, and that's really just due to the fact that the barrel is monstrous and the handguards can't actually rotate up around because they're up against the barrel, and there's really no room for them to move forward without taking too much material away. Grab these off. You can see here what I had to do, use that as a background, to notch the gas tube. Alright, now I made sure not to go up because these vents in here are to act as a piston guide. Okay, so the piston rides on the divots. See, in the bottom, these actual like outward facing ones are just simply a side effect of crimping that for the piston to ride in. So, in other words, whenever I filed this down, I can file it all I want until I get to the bottom of those valleys on the inside, because I don't want the piston to make contact with the screw, obviously. And you can't really see so much, but we are able to, well, when I put it back together we'll verify that, but the piston does move right past the cut with no problems whatsoever. What else did I say we needed to work on? Either way, I'll show you the final. You can see the cuts for the gas tube. See how we actually sort of notched into, that's a better shot for you, how we notched into the gas tube to hold it in the correct position. And we did that the same way on this one. So it's a little bit rough. It actually fits perfect though once it's all said and done. This is the side the screw goes through. The other side attached here is the receiving end, and there is not a whole lot of threads left whenever they're actually clamped on, but there is enough to take the force of what we're dealing with here. You can see also there used to be a ledge right here that went around, I guess to mimic the actual retainer that was originally on the SVD. I ground that off. So these are perfectly smooth and flat in front of each other. I got them on my belt sander and ground them perfectly flat, and then ground everything to the same depths. And there must be like 2 little low spots here from machining because that finish stayed on for whatever reason. But they are perfectly flat. They are perfectly sized in my opinion. You can see, hopefully, need a proper light. There is a slight bit of more material at the top, but nothing that I'm concerned with. They fit very well, and I don't want to screw with it anymore. Don't fix what isn't broken. They aren't broken. They're fit perfectly fine. So that's good to go in my book. The handguards slip right on, fit right in. So I don't want to make this video too overly long. I just wanted to give you the final update of the rifle actually finished ready for Cerakote, because I realized I did not include that in the previous video. I'm going to go ahead and get these clamped back down here for you, and you can get an actual look. See, we only get, what was that, 2 turns in there? And don't get me wrong, they're super tight. Not clamping on the barrel a whole lot. There's actually very little contact with the barrel. They're more or less clamping on the gas tube. And that little keyway we put in the gas tube actually is going to keep the handguard retainer from walking away, which is an added bonus. So hopefully if we get some light, you can see we don't really have a gap on the bottom. We have a slight gap on the top. Get some light. Light in here kind of sucks. Alright, so we have a slight gap on top. You can see they fit perfectly flat and flush, and they actually look really nice. So we have no risk of the handguards coming off anymore. They're on and fit just perfect. Here's that verification that, get a better shot for you so you can actually see. Bolt makes full travel with no resistance whatsoever. The gun is done. So as soon as Copper Custom gets back to me, it's been about a week since I started the beginning of this video. As soon as Copper gets back to me, I would love to send this thing out. Let's get it there. But if they don't get back to me by Christmas, that's okay, because I should be getting my optic and mount by Christmas. So thank you for watching. I hope you're excited. I'm going to take this out here in 2 days and go shoot it. It should be probably 1 day from when you're seeing the video. It'll be Wednesday, so keep that in mind. It might be 2 days. I might do this tonight. But anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.